Hi, soulmates. On your screen is Vicky James and another model. Both of them are putting on underbust corset. Looking at the two of them, it has different shapes, different sizes. That is what we are going to be talking about in this tutorial today. Come with me. So this is a basic body I drafted off camera. Why did I do that? Because we have tutorials on this channel that I explain this comprehensively. Okay, so I'm just going to run through it for us, then we'll move down to the main business, which is the underbust corset you saw on the thumbnail before clicking. So let's do it together. This is our shoulder line. I'm denoting it with XH, our shoulder line. So from the shoulder line to this first line is our bust point. Shoulder to here is our underbust. Shoulder to here is our waistline, or you can equally call it our half length. So also with the back, okay? But let's concentrate more on the front. From here to here is our chest line. I have a comprehensive video I'll be attaching on how to create this armhole effects, okay? I actually did a video on how to draft a perfect round neckline. So this our neckline is 3 inches by 3 inches, okay? I don't want the video to be too long. The idea, the essence of this tutorial is for us to draft what? A bustier, sorry, an under bust corset. So we won't waste our time on this. I would rather attach the tutorial about this on the description box. We'll probably have our back over here, okay? But for now, let's leave the back and concentrate on the front. Okay, so I folded my pattern paper into 2. For the front, it's folded into 2 because the shape of the image you can see on your screen now, it's high on one side and lower on the second side. For us to create that, you need to fold your pattern paper into 2 when drafting. So what I'm going to do now is, can you see? It didn't reflect over here. The first thing I'm going to do now is to extend this length I'm having here is my half length of 17 inches. I want to make an extension to form the V on the underbust corset by extending this line. What do I mean? Here is 17. You can measure the most comfortable place. This length varies according to individual, according to your height, according to how big your tummy is, your body type, and your size. Okay, so for me, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 4 inches is always good for me. So what I'm going to do is from the waistline, I'm going to make an extension of 4 inches. So this is 4 inches. I'll connect. Okay. Now, when you measure this length, remember to measure the round circumference of these points. Okay, for mine, it is 12.5. That's your upper hip. Mine is stopping at my upper hip. Or some persons do call it the lower waist, or the upper hip, depending on what you know or what you call it, but that is it. I'm measuring what I have here is 12.5 over here. So what I'm going to do is to extend this line to join it to this 12.5. So making the extension, this is 12.5. We are now having a full body block. Okay, we are now having a full body block, but we still have one thing to do, and that is for us to extend this dart. For me to extend it, you can notice my dart is not straight. I intentionally did that because of the effects. I want my dart line to come like a V. Okay, so I will extend the dart leg. Okay, Okay, so this is my dart leg. This part will be going off. I'll be cutting this off. So we are having a full body block now for the front. From here we are going to be creating our corset. So I'll call this hip line. Let me call it hip line. Remember I told you it could be called an upper hip or lower waist, but let's denote it with hip line, or you can say, sorry, let's say FL, full length. So this is the full length we are working with. Now looking at the picture on the screen now, you can see it has a V. This is the beauty of pattern drafting. You can actually play around with this to get what you want. Okay, so you don't necessarily have to recreate what I'm doing verbatim. At this point, I'm trying to tell you, you need to bring in your creativity, and to do that, you can either, we are connecting from this full length back to the waistline. We can either do it as a straight line, we can curve it out like this. Did you see how my hand went? We can curve it out like this, or we can do it like an inverted S. Totally dependent on you. So you just play around with it from here. Okay, and remember, this basic body I drafted, no allowance has been added. This is the exact basic body without allowance. Okay, so if you need an allowance when cutting on your pattern paper, you can include your XA, your sewing allowance, your inseam allowance, whichever one you're working with. Okay, so this is what we have now. The next thing I'm going to do is find a way. I've been trying to get my tracing wheel, I can't find it now, so I'm going to find a way to trace this to reflect at this side. Okay, so that when I open it up, you'll be seeing everything together. Okay, so I'm going to do that now without my tracing wheel. Maybe I'll make use of my pen, anything possible to make it reflect over here. Then we'll proceed. But from it, I've gone ahead to retrace what we have here to this side. As you can see, it's exactly the same thing. If you're not certain, if you don't have a tracing wheel and you can't do it the way I did it, when you're done with your base this way, you can measure, remeasure, like reconfirm. You start from this midpoint. Can you see the midline is still there? You can remeasure this way. I had 9.5. Can you see 9.5? You can equally remeasure here. This is 12.5. 12.5, just to be 100% sure you're on track and you're not making a mistake. So we are going to start our alteration from here. Now we are going to determine whether the high side is going to come from here, this is the left side, or once it's on the right side. It's totally dependent on you. Okay, like I said, just bring out your creativity here. And note, it's an underbust corset. It's an underbust corset, meaning this very line is very important. This you. So sorry about that. I didn't know my camera went off. I said from this point, the way you have to determine whether you want the high part to be this way or this other way. Okay, then secondly, you're going to determine how high you want it. Remember, this is our chest line. I want it to start 1 inch below the chest line. So from the chest line, I'm coming down by 1 inch. This is 1 inch. The second point to determine is the wideness. I want it to be 2 inches wide at this point. This is 2 inches. You're going to use your straight wheel to connect the 2 points like shown. Okay, so remember what I told us in the course of the tutorial, you bring in your creativity at this point. So I said the most important line here is your underbust line. As the name is, your underbust corset. You are going to tactically, from these 2 inches over here, from this 2 inches point here, we are going to curve it out to connect to the underbust line. So this is what we are going to do. Remember I said bring in your creativity. You don't have to repeat what I did 100%. You can decide to reshape these parts to give another look. But this is what I want. I want it to come this way, then come here back to this dark line. Okay, then for this side is going to come straight at this point. At this midpoint, I'll go up by ½ inch. I want to make a little curve. I'll come out here by 1.5 inch. Come out this way by 1.5. So I'm going to connect it using my curve rule. I just want to give it a little kind of lifted shape at the midpoint. So it will now continue here. Okay. We'll have one more thing to do before we cut, and that is creating our mask. I told us you can be creative at this point. It's either you connect it from the full length back to the waistline, straight or with a curve. For me, I'll be connecting it straight from the full length at the midpoint here. I'll connect it back to the waist. I'll repeat same thing at this side. So this is what we are having. Let's cut out the parts we'll be needing. So for the front, after cutting, this is what we are having. Remember, we are going to eliminate this gap. I don't have my masking tape here, but I'll make use of pin. So I'll cut this, throw this away. I'm supposed to mask this together, but in the absence of that, I'll use my pin to hold it together. Okay, we are equally going to eliminate this gap. Before we do that, this is our right side for the front. This is right side. This is center front for the front. This is our left side. After labeling like this, you can now remove your darts. So for the front, this is what we are having. This is what we are having, 3 panels. You can equally decide to create extra star lines, but I'll be making use of this. I'll be making do with this for the front. Okay, so now we are going to set this aside and get over to our back bodies. I'm going to make the lines more visible using my pencil. If you're still with me to this point, please consider giving the video a thumbs up, okay? God bless you as you do so. So for the back panel, I went further to merge two. It's supposed to be in twos too. Just the way the front was folded, I was supposed to fold it, but as I did not, I just attached another pattern paper and cut it out to be exactly same thing. So watch what we are going to do now. This is the delicate part of this tutorial. You are going to make the front. Remember, the front and the back are going to be joined together at the mid side, at the side, right? So you're going to get the two side fronts, align it with the front and make a mark. Like here, this is the mark, because they are supposed to be same height, so that when you're joining it by the side, it will align. So for this other side, I'm equally going to measure it, okay, and I'll make a mark at where they align. Then I'm pinning this front back together and I'll set them aside. With my straight rule, I'm going to connect these 2 points. Now mine will come straight. At this point, you can equally make yours curved, but it's the back, and most of the times no need giving it special attention. Okay, can you see what I'm doing? So the part I shaded in the middle is the zipper area. Just watch during the cutting, we are going to cut it out. It won't be part of the bodice. So let's cut out the part we'll be needing for the back. Now watch the line I am cutting through. Please do well to subscribe to the channel, give the video a thumbs up, and leave a comment if you're still watching to this point. Okay, leave a comment if you're still watching to this point. So I'll remove the dots. I remove the dots. Can you see? I'll probably remove this side. This is the zipper side. It's not going to be part of it. So you label. If you don't label at this part, it's going to confuse you. I'm labeling it up, center back, side back. Okay, you have to label. Make sure you label it well enough in such a way that when you pick it up as a fabric, it won't confuse you. Are you seeing what I'm writing there? So this is the right XB, side back, the right. Okay, sorry, the camera went off. So I've gone ahead to cut it out and labeled all the parts, and this is what we are having for both the front and the back, everything together. So this is our back. Sorry, the one I'm writing on now is our front. The way I kept it is how you're going to join it. So this part will be joined to this part, this to this. Are we seeing that? Just like so. Then this is where the eyelet is going to be. That's the center back. The eyelets are going to be fixed here. If you're using loops, it's going to be fixed here. So that brings us to the end of the drafting process of this tutorial. Hope you found it helpful. If you did so, do well to leave a comment in the comment section. I love you all and thanks for stopping by. This is me rocking the outfits. Remember, I equally dropped a tutorial on how I made the sleeve of this gown. Okay, so this is the underbust here. Hope it's beautiful. Are you going to be trying it out? Leave a comment on the comment section and please give the video a thumbs up. Subscribe to the channel. I love you all. Have a nice day. Bye.